All right, Jacob, I'm Jerret.
I'm Ed.
So we got your email and we've got all your questions right here. And you wanted pictures and stuff to write out. I figure here we are on camera. We can show you what we've gotten throughout the years. And we can talk about some of the points that you wanted us to talk about. I want to start with a question that you didn't have on there, and it's what is your first tattoo?
Mine, I got one when I was 16. Up on the arm, some simple tribal, simple Chinese symbol. My granny got it for me for my birthday. Asked me if I wanted a tattoo, and I looked at my parents. They were like, "Yeah, that's cool." So I promised her that I wouldn't get any more until I was 18, and that would, suffice. I would get one at 16 and have to wait till I was 18. So that was pretty cool. So that was mine.
I got mine at 17. I paid for it myself, but my mom gave them permission to get it when I was 17, and I also got a tribal on my arm. It's funny, it's on my right arm as well, but it's the tribal that kind of goes around. I don't know how well you can see that, but there's some bad lines and some really messed up ink. I was young and went to a really bad place and got a bad tattoo, and that's one of my regrets. You had asked something about tattoo removal, and I want to move to that just really quick because I have an experience. I don't know if you've ever tried to do it, but I did. I tried to have my neck tattoo removed, and due to my neck being done by traditional tapping, which is where they actually tap the ink in with, they have a little bamboo needle and a little weighted hammer that basically taps the needles into your skin. Well, I've had 3 removals to try to take care of the star on my neck, and that cannot be done. So that's as far as removal go. It'd be the same thing with the really bad scar tissue from my first tattoo. There's too dark of ink, and it's good modern inks too, rather than the older inks.
I don't have any removal experience, but I do have cover up experience. I do have a cover up on my wrist. Got initials that were not necessary. Had them covered up, and that's a blessing.
I have. Well, let's get on to regrets. Tattoos that you regret, because that's another thing that you didn't really cover. But those of us that start to cover ourselves, it takes years and years and years, unless you are a tattoo artist and you're in the community and you just get it all done really quick. Most people take decades to cover themselves, and you look back on different parts of your life and things change. I'm married for the 2nd time, and I have my first wife's name tattooed behind my arm. Her name was Christina, and yeah, so, there's things that you get for sentimental reasons, and sometimes you regret them. You were able to cover yours up. That's always a plus.
Yes, always a plus.
I was forced to do a cover-up. When I joined the Navy, the United States Navy, they wanted me to remove an anti-swastika. It was an anti-Nazi thing from being a non-racist skinhead. And the Navy told me that I could not have a political opinion on the matter, which was odd, but that's beside the point. I got this tribal thing here that has the big black blob that you can see there. It didn't get covered up really well. I can get kind of close. You can still kind of see it. That's simply because I got the tattoo right before boot camp. I joined the Navy. The Navy makes you swim. Jumped in a chlorinated pool with a brand new fresh tattoo, and it pulled all the black ink out of it, and the cover-up was useless. So now I still have that. And so the cover-up in itself is meaningless. It's just this big, ugly, tribal-y thing that I have on my arm. That'll be there forever. It reminds me of the Navy and what the Navy made me do. So that's cool. You ask a question about occupation. I'm a plumber.
I'm general tradesman. I've done pretty much a lot of different jobs. I'm currently looking for work, so it hasn't been an issue as far as interviews go. I've had all my tattoos done so they can be covered with a long sleeve shirt, so none is visible if I do go to interviews. I try and keep it discreet in that way so they don't discriminate against me.
I've gone past that point, but as a licensed plumber, I feel that my position's fairly safe. I'm really good at what I do. I do wear long sleeve shirts even in the summertime, and that's whether they make me do it or not. It's a professional thing that I would always do. Kind of helps me since I'm running service, going to people's houses. You never know who you're going to see, so I do cover those things up because there are a lot of conservative people out there. I do certainly think there's a lot of employers that do look negatively at people who cover themselves, especially when you get upwards of the neck onto the hands and fingers and things like that. That's kind of frowned upon in today's society for the most part. It's a case by case basis sometimes, depending on what you're talking about. So I guess that goes to we're kind of moving backwards up your list and talk about how we feel as a member of society being tattooed. I don't care whether you have tattoos, and I don't care whether you care if I have tattoos, because they're mine. Bottom line, I don't get tattoos for anyone else but myself. I'm the one that has to live with it. I'm the one that has to look at it for the rest of my life. And I could give two shits if you like it or not.
Agreed.
I grew up around people who had tattoos around a Southern California skateboarder, surfer, and biker lifestyle, and wrapped up in them cultures. So I always had an appreciation for the underground art of tattooing. And the same with piercings as well. Though I don't have a lot, I still have respect for that part of it too.
Now, as far as like how you feel as a member of society, we don't care what people think, but at the same time, like I said, I will keep them to the point where I can keep them discreet. If I were to go in for an interview or were to be in a part of society that people would look down upon, I do try and keep it discreet, not to cause drama, so to speak, and cause people to look at me and judge me and stereotype me.
I think that answers your questions, except for the pictures and descriptions of tattoos. So I think it'd be best we'll start with Ed and let him run down what he has and tell you whether it's just a wall tattoo or if it has a sentimental meaning or whatever, or what have you. And then we'll move on to me, and we'll go through that too.
Cool. Well, of course, we start with my first one. First one is the tribal up on the arm, 16 years old. And then from there, I waited till I was 18. And then I went and got the Metallica symbol, which will probably be done in a cover-up. It's one of those regret ones. I do have all my lower sleeve done. I got the mom done first, and then I went and had the bald eagle put in with my son's name, the bird and the flower, and then all the filler done at one time, and that actually included the cover up there on the wrist. This one was just done week and a half ago or so, and that's a yo-yo company, General Yo, that's their logo. I went and did that. Pretty cool guys down there. Got another yo-yo logo, the One Drop logo, and then also the same back on my shoulder. And then this arm got Fry from Futurama yo-yo, and that was my dad's second tattoo he's ever done. Tribute to my buddy that killed himself, a little rest in peace tribute. And then I did the ditch down for my yo-yo crew, and yeah, those are my upper body. So you want a shot on my legs too?
Yeah, let's see what you got on your legs.
Some tribal with skateboard. Been skateboarding since I was real young, so I did that. And then on the other leg, Me and my dad did matching tattoos. It's the Iron Cross with Pride and Bear Claw Shamrocks. Matching thing we did together.
Alright, now we're going to turn this and try to line it up for me here. Alright, on my right sleeve, which is incomplete, I've got an artist in Seattle that's going to work on that. Before I got all the lower stuff done, I had a portrait of Jesus done. That was done prior to me joining the Navy. Then after I had joined the Navy is when I started actually filling in the around the cover-up, because the cover-up was done as I joined the Navy. I had also explained that I was a skinhead, so I tattooed skinhead on my wrist when I was young, into hardcore music, so I had gotten hardcore tattooed down my arm there. This whole sleeve kind of happened over a period of 10 years and kind of pieced all this stuff together. I've got my Yo-Yo Crew ditch down right there below my ditch work. They call that the ditch, the inside of your elbow there. Also have the Mickey's Hornets. That's one of the first beers I really enjoyed in my late teens, was the grenade bottles from Mickey's, so I got those tattooed on there as well. I kind of skipped the wrenches there. I'm a plumber. I've got a sacred yo-yo. Yo-yoing is like religion to me. It calms me down. It really helps me find focus with life. As a professional demonstrator and competitor, it's a really big part of my life. I've got this bottle here too in the back with the wing on it. It says Brown Bottle Blues. That's kind of my ode to the hangover. That was kind of just a wall tattoo that I had a friend of mine do at one point. On the top of my bicep here, you can see the laurel wreath kind of wing looking things with what that is an eyeball with the eyelashes and heavy eyeliner. I was in a band, there's an H and an M. I was in a band called the Horror Show Malchicks. We were a Clockwork Orange themed band, and so that was a tattoo that we all got whenever I left St. Louis. One of my more meaningful ones, I'll try to turn so you can see the back of the arm there. This is from Masonic teachings. I'm a Freemason, and this tattoo is done off the 2nd degree teachings while I was going through Freemasonry. It depicts the inner and outer doors of King Solomon's temple. The Battle of Heaven and Hell was done. Of course, we've got angels here fighting demons all the way down to the fire down my wrist. Still have a lot of work to do there. On my legs, I got a matching tattoo with a friend of mine on my left leg. My nickname was Scrumpy, his nickname was Shady, so we both got S's on the back of our calves. And one of my favorite bands is Sick of It All. So I also have a dragon on the back of my leg here. It's a tribal dragon. That's the symbol of that band. Oh, like we talked about earlier, I had traditional tap work done when I was in Singapore. That was my neck. I also have, when I got back, I got my shellback tattoo, which you'll look there. They give you the shell back whenever you cross the equator and you go through this big ritual at sea. It's pretty cool. And we got a card and a document over that. And being a tattoo enthusiast, I was in the Navy. I got the traditional tattoo. I'm also now working on a chest piece, which is going to be a seagull. As you can see, the webbed feet. It'll have a lot of whites and blues in it. I grew up in Southern California. I live now in Seattle. I've always been around the sea and seagulls, so I picked a traditional style tattoo with a non-traditional bird because it's a bird that I grew up with. So that's really all my tattoos to speak of. Oh, And I think I hope we've covered everything that you need. So I'm going to rush this to the computer, and hopefully this will give you everything you need for your paper, at least from me and Ed.